So I wanted to start just with a little bit of like, so what is happiness, right? So what is joy? What is happiness? It's a complex and multifaceted emotion that it's generally characterized by feelings of joy and contentment and well-being. But there are really two types of happiness, right? There's this temporary happiness, which is the external happiness, which is the one that we think we're gonna get when we get that shiny new car or that new love, and that's really fleeting happiness. Whereas lasting happiness is really something that happens inside. It's an inner state of being, and that's not fleeting, right? And that's really the happiness that really gives us that joy that we can get up to smile for every day. And when it comes to happiness, there's like sort of psychological definition, which is very subjective from person to person, like life satisfaction, like finding your purpose, like being able to share your gifts with the world. And it has a positive effect when you are able to share, and it has a sort of negative effect when you're not. There's a philosophical definition, and there's various of them. Philosophers have long debated the nature of happiness. Aristotle, for example, called it flourishing, living with virtue. And there's a more utilitarian definition, which is more like the absence of pain. And when it comes to spiritual definitions, many traditions find that it's that inner peace that really creates that lasting joy that helps you get up and smile every single morning. And so in yoga, the definition is states that suffering comes when we identify with our thoughts and our mind, and that there's two types of things that will make you suffer, and they cause us to not live in the moment. And this is attachment or aversion, right? So attachment to the things that we think are going to want to bring us pleasure, and aversion of those things that we think are going to bring us pain. And yoga helps us kind of return to this moment where we naturally exist in happiness. And it's inside of all of us, that joy, that simple joy of living, not something that we are seeking externally, but something that is our true nature, this inner peace, balance, and contentment that exists between us. And yoga provides a path to uncover and reconnect to this innate nature by removing the layers of illusion, which in this philosophy it's called Maya. And they kind of break down different ways that we can do it. It's a path called the eight limbs of yoga. It starts with the yamas and the niyamas, and these are basically the ethical and moral foundations that help align you to be a person that will act and do things that will bring them that joy, that will lead to longer lasting happiness. The yamas and the niyamas basically clear the inner clutter, the inner blocks to happiness. They create a more harmonious relationship with ourselves and with others, and they nurture inner alignment, purpose, and action, bringing all those things together and in sync to transform suffering into freedom by removing our patterns of fear, of control, or of ego. And really, a natural byproduct of living in alignment is a deeper sense of peace and a deeper sense of joy. Then from there happens what most people think of yoga, which is the asanas, the physical practice, which helps you get your body nice and healthy, right? The healthier we are, the easier it is to live in joy. You have pranayama. Pranayama are breathing techniques that we can use to regulate our nervous system and our emotions. And obviously, breath is available to everyone. So it's understanding how to use the breath to foster different emotional states of being. Then you have pratyahara, which is turning inward, not allowing everything that we see and hear to stop comparing to external things and really finding what serves us as individuals. Then you have dharana and dhyana, which are concentration and meditation. It's our ability to be able to focus into what we desire and those things that do bring us joy. And that all leads to samadhi. And samadhi is a blissful union of the self with universal consciousness. And this is really what fosters this unconditional love and acceptance, which is crucial for inner peace, because really yoga is a journey to yourself, to understanding yourself and bringing that higher level of happiness to yourself. And there's scientific studies that have been done that show how much yoga can improve our being. It reduces cortisol, increases dopamine and serotonin, promotes mindfulness, compassion, body awareness, and it's backed by ancient science, but also now by neuroscience, understanding that it helps us tune into our physical sensations through the asanas, the movements, through the breath, through coordination. It encourages us to live in the present moment, to regulate our nervous system. So it activates the parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest part of our nervous system, versus the fight or flight or the sympathetic nervous system. And again, breath control meditation is a way that we can do this. Gentle movement and grounding can help us do this. So yeah, it's all about improving your mood, improving your well-being. It's not about flexibility. It's really about freedom. It's freedom from the mind's noise, through the emotional entanglement and the nervous system dysregulation that we are currently suffering from, so that we can return to our state of joy. And different ways that we can incorporate this is having a gratitude journal, doing short breathing practices, meditation practices, joyful movement. And it doesn't have to be yoga the way that people think. It could be dancing, it could be just jumping around in your kitchen. Like all of that helps regulate your nervous system and really make you happier. There's also different types of meditation, such as metta. Metta is a loving kindness meditation where you're sending kindness to yourself, sending kindness to others, maybe to someone who hasn't been so kind to you, that's causing some resistance within you in some way. And there's also mantras that we can use, right? Things that we can say, especially when we notice that our thoughts are what's bringing us down and causing us a state that's lower than any state of joy or peace or contentment. One of them is loka, samasta, sukhinobhavantu. It means may all beings everywhere be happy and free. There's another one, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And a lot of times in yoga classes, they finish class like that. And this mantra calls for peace on three levels: on the level of the self, the level of the environment, and the level of the cosmos. So it fosters that peace within ourselves, but also for everyone around us. There's also the Ho'oponopono mantra, not really related to yoga, but it's I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You say those four different aspects. I'm sorry is to acknowledge that something has caused you pain. Please forgive me is asking for forgiveness, not just from others, but from yourself. Thank you is to express gratitude for the opportunity to heal and grow and create peace. And I love you is to restore that wholeness and bring us back into that frequency of unconditional love, which is the highest frequency and the one closest to happiness and joy.
It is. What you said it's packing a lot. It's
Hey, I only have
knowledgeable.
15
It's
minutes.
very, very knowledgeable. Like more than half the stuff you said, especially those names. Yeah, I didn't understand it. I didn't know.
That's
How
okay.
I think that learning new things, just like when earlier today, because I've been on here, through the grace of God, I've been on here, and one of the things that was said, like, what could break up, racism and different things of that nature is by traveling more, learning cultures, learning other things outside of what is normal to us. And so when you said something about it doesn't just have to be a yoga stance, it's dancing. And I love dancing. Like that does what release some cortisol and some dopamines and some other things, all some happy things, right? So, what was mm, one of the things that made you smile today? And what are one of the things that makes you smile in yoga? If you can wrap that up, like maybe in about 2.5 minutes, if you can share with us, please.
I think just being alive makes me smile every day. Like I know how fleeting this human life is, and being able to have this human experience is really amazing for me. I think just being able to enjoy life, nature. I live in a really wonderful place. I get to wake up and I have nature all around me, and it helps me really connect to myself. But in yoga, really, it's just sharing the practice. I really appreciate be having had this practice come to me. It's been over 20 years since I've been in this yoga world. I'm an MBA, so I'm a business major by education, but I found this world of health and fitness and yoga. And once I really got into yoga and I learned the deeper aspects of the practice and the philosophy and the psychology that the practice is really about, because yoga's definition is yoga chitta vritta nirodha, and it means yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. And once I really started understanding how we create our own reality and our happiness is really based on what we tell ourselves, never on what's actually happening to us. And understanding that and being able to share that is really what makes me smile every day. Like I work sometimes for a whole month straight teaching a 300-hour program, and people are like, "Oh my God, you work for a month, you don't get a day off." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I really love what I do." So it's like not working at all.
When you love it, it doesn't feel like work, you know?
Yeah,
I think some of those words almost sound like Sanskrit. I've taken a
it is.
Sanskrit class. Oh, it is.
Mhm.
And oh, that sounds like Sanskrit. Is a really intelligent guy down here that I've taken a Sanskrit class with. He's written many, many books. So yoga is one of the original, maybe body movements, just like Sanskrit is one of the original languages. And we only have 1 minute, but I was just kind of, I'm asking, but we want to be mindful of the time as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, yoga is very ancient. It was first found in Vedic texts over 5,000 years ago, and it was passed on from teacher to student before that. But the main philosophy of yoga really isn't so much about what's happening with your body. Basically, the movements of yoga are made to make your body strong and flexible enough so that you can sit in meditation for hours and hours on end, because really meditation is where you foster that higher connection to universal consciousness. And the cool thing about yoga is no matter what you believe spiritually, there's a place for yoga within that, because it doesn't tell you to believe in anything specific. It just tells you to understand that there's something greater than yourself and that you're a part of that, which is really empowering also about the practice.
Beautiful. We thank you so much, Johanna, for being here and just helping us dive in more in regards to yoga and sharing your beautiful smile with us, right?
Thank you.
So, you all, it has been a packed filled day. And as I move on, you guys